Okay, good morning Year 4. Welcome to another fractions maths lesson. Today we're going to be building on our learning from the past two lessons and learning how to change a mixed number to an improper fraction. So hopefully you're feeling confident with those, but we're just going to recap them in our Do Now this morning. So you can see some different representations on your screen. I am going to take you through the first one just to make sure we know what we're doing, and then you can go off and have a go on your own. So looking at A, I'm going to write my mixed number first. So remember, for my mixed number, I need to first of all count how many parts are in the whole. That's really important to find my denominator. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts in total. Remember, I'm only counting for one of the wholes. So I've got 6 parts because each one is broke up into 6 parts. They are 6. Okay. Then I need to think about how many wholes there are. How many wholes are shaded? So I know there are 2 wholes shaded. This one's not all shaded, so that is not a whole. So my whole number is 2. And then finally, I need to make sure I count how many parts are left over. So I have 1, 2, 3 parts left over. There are 3 6 shaded in the last shape. So in total, I have 1, 2, and then 3 6 shaded on this shape. 2 wholes and 3 6. Okay, so hopefully we've remembered that from our previous lesson. Let's have a look now at improper fractions, which we were learning yesterday. So remember, I'm still going to have the same denominator because there are 6 parts in one of my wholes, so I'm going to keep that as 6. And then I'm not looking at the wholes this time. Remember, for improper fractions, I'm counting how many parts there are, because the numerator is going to be larger than my denominator or equal. So let's count our parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 parts. So this representation is showing 2 and 3, 6, or 15, 6. So I would like you to complete that for the rest of the representations, writing your answers down, and then when you're ready, come back and check before we move on. Off you go. Okay, so hopefully you've managed to have a go at all of those. We are going to just pop the answers up on the screen. So you may want to pause the video and just have a little look at those answers and check that you're confident before we move on. Okay, don't worry if you were finding some of those a bit tricky. We are going to be doing something very similar today, and you'll have the representations to help you. But if you're feeling confident, we're going to be learning how to calculate those without having the representations to help us. So let's just recap our keywords. So hopefully we should know the meaning of all of these now. Because we have, apologies, we have been looking at them for all of our lessons, and mixed numbers and improper fractions we've been learning this week. So you may want to pause and recap those, but if you're ready, we can move on. Okay, so we should be really clear what an improper fraction and a mixed number is now. So on your screen, you can see a mixed number fraction. Now I have put the representations there to help us today, to support us in our work, but we're going to be looking how we can calculate it without the picture. We're just going to use that to support us and check our answer, okay? So I have 1 whole and 1/2. My denominator is 2 because each circle is split into 2 parts, it's in half, and I have 1 whole shaded and 1/2 shaded. So we should be really clear on that now because we've already been learning that. So we're going to look now at how we can change this into an improper fraction. We're going to use the pictures, as I said, to help us, but we're going to be looking at how we can calculate it using our steps to success. So step 1 is to write the denominator the same. So my denominator on this shape is 2 because there are 2 equal parts in each shape. So I'm going to keep that as 2. So you might be able to see already how many parts I'm probably going to have on the top, but let's look at how we calculate that first. So I've done step 1. So to find, the next thing I need to do is multiply the whole number by the denominator. So this is my whole number, and I'm going to multiply it by my denominator. So I need to do 1 times 2. So the reason I'm doing that is that is telling me how many parts are in my whole. So I've only got one whole in this case. So one whole times 2 parts. So 1 times 2 equals 2. So I've done step 2. The next thing I need to do is add the numerator. So I've got 1 times 2 is 2. I'm going to add on my numerator, add on that 1. So this is telling me I'm adding on this part here, the one that is left over. So I'm going to add the numerator. 2 add 1 is 3. 1, 2, 3. So now you can start to see the relationship now between my representation. 1 times 2 add 1 is 3. And then I need to make this the numerator in my improper fraction. So as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3 halves. So that is equal to 3 halves there. So that is a way I can calculate it without using the images to help me. So let's look at some more examples. Again, we'll still have the pictures there if you're finding it a little bit tricky, but let's see if you can understand with the steps. So let's go from step 1. So this time I have 1 and 1/3. You can see that represented in the picture. 3 parts and 1 here. Okay. So I need to write the denominator the same. So my denominator is going to be 3. So I've done step 1, nice and easy. Okay, the next part where it gets a little bit trickier, I need to multiply the whole new number, which is my 1, by the denominator. 1 times 3. I'm just going to write that here just to remind me. And I know 1 times 3, we should all know 1 times 3 is 3. So I have 3 parts in my whole. Then I need to add the numerator. So step 2 was 1 times 3 is 3. I'm going to add on the numerator, which is 1 again. 3 add 1 is 4. So I've added 3 add 1 is 4. That needs to be now my numerator, which is step 4. So let's just check that I've got the right amount of parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4/3. Fantastic. So I know that's correct and it matches up. It's equivalent. Okay, let's do it again. So try and help a little bit more this time. See if you can have a go at home. So my first step is to write the denominator the same. So what is my denominator on this side going to be? Hopefully you have said 6 because it is the same as my denominator on this side. Okay, that's step 1. Okay, step 2, multiply the whole number by the denominator. So my whole number is 1 and I'm multiplying it by 6. So 1 times 6. 1 times 6 is equal to 6. Fantastic. So I've done step 2. Now I need to add the numerator. So I've got 6. Keep that in my head. My numerator is 2. 6 add 2. 6 add 2 is 8. Fantastic. Hope you've got 8 in your head. And remember that becomes my new numerator in the improper fraction. So let's just count the parts to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fantastic. Okay, let's do one more together and then you're going to have the opportunity to practice before you go on to your independent task. So again, we've got the representation now. We've got 2 1/3 this time. So we've only had 1 whole so far. So let's look if we can do it with 2. So first of all, I need to write the denominator. My denominator is going to be 3. Well done if you've got that so far. Try and do it with me so that you're feeling confident. So I've done step 1. Next part, I need to multiply the whole number by the denominator. So this time it's 2 times 3. So 2 times 3 equals 6. Well done. So that's representing the 2 wholes here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is add the numerator because I need to make sure I'm adding on this extra part here. So add the numerator. 6 add 1 is 7. So let's put that as our new numerator and check our answer. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Fabulous. So I know that is correct. Okay. Right. We're going to have a go at one more just to check that we've got it. So first of all, we're going to write the denominator the same. And then I'm going to multiply the whole number by the denominator. Now I'm going to try and do this in my head this time because I know my times tables and it's only some smaller numbers, so I think I'm going to be able to remember it. So I know I need to do 2 times 6, which I know is 12. So I'm going to keep 12 in my head. 2 times 6 is 12, and then I need to add the numerator. 2 times 6 is 12, 12 add 5, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I've got 17, and I know that needs to go on my numerator here. So 2 times 6 is 12, add 5 is 17. Okay, let's just check that. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Fantastic. So I know that's correct, so I can check it in my representation. If you didn't have your representation there to check, you might just want to do I did and just check it a couple of times. 2 times 6 add 5. Maybe just double check your answer to make sure it is correct. Okay, so you've got a few questions on your screen now. Some of them have the representations to help you to check, and some of them don't. So start with the ones on this side first. Try and use the steps, but then you can check your answer using the pictures. If you're not feeling confident, it's absolutely fine if you just want to count the parts like we did in our Do Now, but do try and have a go with the steps as well. And then you can have a go at the questions on this side, just using the steps because you haven't got the pictures there to help you. So have a go at those, come back, we'll see how you're getting on, and then we can move on to the next section if you're ready. So pause the video and have a go. Okay, so let's have a look at question number 1 together. So I had 1 and 2 quarters. I can see it represented in my picture, but I'm going to try and use my steps. So I know I need to do 1 times 4, which is 4, add 2, which is 6. Oh, there's something I forgot to do first. I missed a step there. What's the first thing that I should do? Hopefully you said it should be writing the denominator. Well done if you spotted that. So I should have 4 there ready so I don't get confused. So the first thing I need to do now is 1 times 4 is 4, add 2 is 6. So I should have 6 quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can check that in my picture. So well done if you got that one right. Let's have a look at the next one. So now I have 1 and 2 fifths. So again, I'm going to write 5 on my denominator. And then I can do my multiplication for step 2. So 1 times 5 is 5. And then 5 add 2, I know is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well done if you got that correct. And the next one. So I'm going to put my denominator in first, which is 6. There are 6 parts. And then I can do my multiplication. 2 times 6 is 12. And then 12 add 5 is 17. Right, fantastic. Hopefully you've managed to get those ones right so far because you had the pictures to help you. So let's see if you managed to do the next ones just using the steps. So I'm going to put my denominator in first, and I have 1 times 4 is 4, and 4 add 3 is 7. And then I need to put my 3 in here. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 add 2 is 8. And then a little bit bigger number this time. So 3 times 10 is 30. And 30 add 2 is 32. So remember that's my numerator. And I should have popped 10 on the bottom. 32 tenths. Okay, hopefully you've managed to do well with that. If you're not feeling very confident, you can go back and have a look at the examples that we went through together first and use the steps to help you. If you're feeling confident you got all those correct, we're going to move on to your independent task now. We're not going to have a look at any more examples together today, so please do make sure you go back and watch some more of the video again if you're not feeling that confident. Okay, so you've got a couple of options with your banded sheet again today. So band 1 and 2 for the apply and the use and apply, sorry, are the same. They're the same questions. However, you notice in band 1 we have the pictures there, the representations to support you. It's the same questions as band 2, we just have the representations to support you. So if you're feeling confident without the representations, do have a go at band 2 and use the steps. You could always go back to 1 and have a look at the pictures if you're getting a bit stuck on one of the questions. Then for band 3, you've got some trickier times tables and you don't have as much support with your fractions. So have a go at band 3 if you're feeling really confident with those steps today. For the apply, you're going to be writing true or false for each question. There's quite a lot there, but do try and have a go at as many as you can. And then you've got some reasoning questions where you need to explain the answers. You may need to represent it in band 2, so do draw that out or have a go at drawing that on the bars that are there. Again, there's also a couple of challenge questions on the sheet for you as well. Okay, I'm just going to stop sharing my screen with you. Okay, hopefully that is nice and clear and the steps to success are there to help you if you get stuck, but do go back and watch the examples again if you need to. So post your work to Seesaw, make sure you mark it and you check your answers as well to make sure that you know what you're doing before you posting, and your teacher can help you if you're still stuck. So have a lovely day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow for the final lesson of the week. Bye.